Welcome back to the John and Linetia Show.
We'd like to thank Drac Zanu from the planet Malthorpe for joining us in the studio for the last hour. Remember, everyone, make peace with your God, for the invasion of Earth starts next Tuesday.
I shall heed that warning.
Invasion coming. Invasion coming.
In the meantime, we have more important things to talk about.
I know, right?
The liquidation of the Hostess company.
No!
Oh my God!
Oh no!
It's so horrible. There will never ever be Twinkies again. Oh no! Ding dongs will never ever be here.
No more cupcakes.
Yeah.
No more zingers.
No more donuts. No more mini donuts.
Unless someone buys them.
Unless there's reality. Yeah. So I guess what has happened is that this company, Hostess, basically has been owned by a couple of like investment companies that have really kind of sucked a lot of the money out of the company and not really done. I mean, think about marketing. I mean, have you ever? When was the last time you saw a Hostess commercial?
Probably in kids programming, but
I don't know, not even in kids programming. I mean, I only remember them when I was a kid, you know, and they've pretty much been skating on their reputation, you know, for years and years and years. And so I guess the current kind of financial shell company that owns them was trying to get labor to cut back on their, on their salaries, on their pensions and stuff, trying to get the unions all to basically cut all their spending because, of course, they've got a massive amount of debt. Now, all of the debt reportedly was built up by these financial, almost fake shell companies that have been set up and people are put in charge that don't know how to run a confectioner rather, and ultimately what it is, it's kind of a Bain Capital scheme of just making a buttload of money for people in suits while you basically bleed a company dry. And a bunch of the one of the unions said, no, we're not gonna actually lower our salaries down to like minimum wage. Screw that. And
that was the Teamsters union.
Well, the Teamsters said that they would do it. And then there was some bakers union.
Because the Teamsters were the only ones that decided to cross the picket lines. Actually.
Well, they agreed to all the concessions and everything.
But not the bakers union.
So the bakers union said no, and the suits in charge basically said, "Oh, okay, well, we're going to just go through liquidation."
Alas,
there's a bit of a problem.
That was last Friday.
That was last week.
Yes, and
and then of course, what do we hear on frickin' Facebook, on the news? What was the talk about this whole thing? I just said the whole story. Okay, but what was the real story that we were hearing?
We were losing Twinkies.
Oh, Twinkies are going away. That was the story.
That was the story.
I just said what the real story was, but no, the news media and then hysterical people who don't know how business works on Facebook are posting things and reporting things about how we're never going to have Twinkies again. And people are going and they're hoarding.
Crazy.
Yeah, you saw that.
I posted the other day. I was at the grocery store, and this lady literally took her arm and took all of the boxes of Twinkies off the shelf and put them in her cart. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't want any, but I'm like, what are you going to do with all of these? She's like, well, I'm going to sell them all on eBay. And I was like, wow, are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
Alas, now, I don't think those Twinkies are worth that much.
Now we know that in the end, the worst thing that's going to happen, well, there's a lot of bad things that are happening anyway, but ultimately, the recipes and everything and the trademarks and the name, they're going to be sold off.
They're going to be sold off.
Somebody else will make Twinkies.
Well, they're trying to figure out where they're going to sell it to. There are a lot of people a lot of companies who are, bidding in for that. But, I mean, now all these boxes, and just of course the lady wasn't the only one who did that.
Yeah.
You know, now all of your eBay sales are for naught. Because
well, I mean, it was ridiculous anyway. It was a stupid idea. I mean, it was a silly
I understand
thought.
what they were doing.
I don't.
But
you know,
I understand. You know, Twinkies were about to become.
They were not.
There
was no chance.
It was a chance of them becoming
the company
extinct.
going out of business doesn't mean no. There was no chance they were going to become extinct.
But if no one else buys them,
and somebody will, no matter
eventually,
what, somebody will buy.
There's nothing saying right now that there's only bidding in to do it.
Yeah, well,
bidding, and
apparently,
after that bidding,
the suits in charge of things forgot another step though, because they actually have to go through federally mandated mediation,
and you got to go through bankruptcy
before bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. So they got to go through this mediation. Mm-hmm. You know, likely the mediation won't have some kind of a won't have a resolution. They'll eventually get to bankruptcy. But the other thing is while that's happening, is that the Justice Department. Is getting a look at the plan of liquidating the company. Mm-hmm. Because, of course, in order to liquidate a company, and if you're the CEO, if you're the COO, if you're the vice presidents, in order to properly sell off all of those goods, you must be paid handsomely in 6-7 figure bonuses.
Right. But they had already been paid that, and that was one of the problems.
They already have, but they also had a plan. Their bankruptcy plan involved them getting paid a lot more too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in the end, what happened? In the end, you got this company that basically was more or less raped by a couple of financial companies that have taken out all of the equity, that have saddled it with debt, made it basically a tax shelter for years, money-losing entity. Not put any money into the company. And you're laying off like
18,500 people.
Right, yeah, and they don't care about the people, of course.
Mm-mm. Well, did you see any of the companies that were bidding to try to get,
I know that one of them was the crazy millionaire that owns Pabst.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that. That's just not a nice fit to me,
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I just didn't know.
PBR and Twinkies.
I don't know. I saw that Bimbo Bakeries was part of that.
The Bimbos from Mexico.
And they own a lot of stuff that I don't think people realize. They actually have the Sara Lee brand, and they have the Intimates brand. And then Flower Foods actually tried to put their bid in as well. Yeah. And Flower Foods, if some people don't know who they are, they do Tasty Cake, Nature's Own, and Miss Freshly's. We got all of these different companies that already make bakery goods, basically, are the ones who are jumping in there. I didn't see a bid by Little Debbie. Maybe Little Debbie is doing well.
Little Debbie, I don't think Little Debbie could buy them because it's like buying a competitor, and the Justice Department would probably say no. I mean, antitrust type.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. It was just ridiculous because everyone was like all up in arms about, no more Twinkies, oh no. It's like, are you kidding me? Somebody's going to buy this. It's ridiculous.
Eventually, they will. But I just feel sorry for anybody who has to be laid off of their job, especially right now we're around the holidays.
Yeah, it sounds like all of the employees in that company have just continually gotten hosed. And... like the bankers on Wall Street that caused our recession, nothing will happen to the people who basically have raped the hell out of that company.
So sad. Yeah. So very sad.
All right. We'll be right back after these words from Guy Fieri's new restaurant, Guy's New York Times Sucks restaurant.
You're listening to the John and Linetia Show.